You like Trump? Good girl. You like Biden? Come on, man. We cheated. Alright, good evening. We do a shop tour today. It's just some of the things around the shop. If y'all got anything nice, I wouldn't mind seeing it. See if I might learn something. The way your shop is set up, might learn something from mine. You never know. Let's start with the bench. Kerber 29, Kerber 29, a 2950, 2-pill, Bird Matas, power supply, which is actually over here and it's connected here. It's the voltage to that. This where you can hook a radio up or something other like that. Back to the radio. Radio here runs through the 2-pill. The 2-pill runs back over. Output goes to the switch box over here. So I can actually, let's see, radio goes here, goes to this switch box. This radio here goes to this switch box. I can turn it from each one. It comes out of the switch box, goes into the amplifier, and then comes out of the amplifier, goes over here to this line section, which is a 5-watt slug and reverse, which I always use to look at reflect. So that comes out there. This coax hooks up to that, and that's where I hook up a back of an amp. And then you have the other side, which is output. This one here comes up, goes through that coax, goes in this dual line section. These 2 meters go to that. This one shows a reflect back from the antenna or dummy load, and this is peak or RMS from dummy load or antenna. I normally use antenna about all the time. Multiplier here, on and off switch here. It's oscilloscope. I'd like to get a littler one. It takes up a lot of room up there. But it was a reason of putting this up here is to put stuff on top of it, have like a shelf, and then I could have my stuff up underneath it. This is just old parts, a sorting station, a mat cowl. Only thing about that, I had it hooked up the way it came, and it hooks to ground. And the way they make these, if you touch anything with any kind of power in it, it'll go into protection mode. So I pulled the, I had it on a isolation transformer, and it worked pretty good then. But if this thing senses any little bit of power, negative ground to this, it'll shut it down. And you'll have to cut it back off, reset it, and it's just the way it is. But I took the ground off the plug, got it plugged in. I've had no more trouble with it since then. And a few little bits here. It's 440s, 632s, and 832s. Just some stickers I got up here. Rainmaker, Radio Garage. He sent me these and I put them up. And then you got Chris Dave made. And then you got that old Sleepy Joe and that camel hoe. That's toe. Oh. Yeah. Come on, man. He did cheat. Just some little stuff there. Sorta stuff here. My power here. Air compressor is there. Tables here. This one here goes to the lights over on this side. I hadn't got it really labeled, but this one's going to be for air. With vac system. I'm going to put a vac system in. My air line comes in through here. Through the walls. The air conditioner's on the other side, so I don't have to hear that thing. Which I'm deaf anyways. Can't hardly hear it anyways. Some my Bosch stuff there. A little thing I made out of nothing but PVC trim Like I made this trim around here with, around the table. This is all 2x6 on here. You can stand on it, jump up and down. Then Tesla. You go over here to the computer stuff. That's where I watch my Hodges brothers on. The Hodges twins, conservative twins. And everything else. Hell, I watched a little bit of everybody's. 309, 390, Wagon Mouse are there. If I get some more of them, I'll put them up. Just send them on. Some little things here. That's half a 3-inch tubing with some plywood on the end of it and paint it. I've got little pieces of wire and little runoff stuff that I use. 3/16 coax braid, some soda flux, some oil for my tap and dye. This right here is pretty cool. You run that slug right there, you get automatic data. I mean unlimited data. Damn. Unlimited data. Now that's one you gotta just have. A 10,000 watt, 100,000 watt one. I'm looking through the camera, so give it to me. That's runoff. That boy that made me that, appreciate it. I'm not good with names. Handles either. Just some more parts, runoff stuff. Pretty much. Texas Starlet. Steel for sale. Make somebody a nice nice little amplifier, little 2-pill. Another 2-pill I'm getting ready to put together. Over here is another, Amy's daddy made this. It's a entertainment stand, but the way this was made, this top, which the rack came all the way over pretty much to about 6 inches or so, and I slid it back and pulled the bottom out so you could have some extra workspace. And I pushed the top back and added a little board back on the back. It was, I don't know. It was the entertainment something he got built back in the day. Well, maybe he built it. Hell, I don't know. But it's got tracking up the side of it, and you move it shelves up down. It's pretty damn cool. But this is just run over stuff that I hadn't put away yet. It was one of them little cheap soldering irons there, but it works good. Hot air. Another one of the, this is the second one, well, the first one I had. That little thing's nice. If you get some little radios, if you get radios in that all the time, especially used when you hook them up to that, and make sure you ain't got no dead shorts in them before you really hook them up to any power. And this is just test stuff. It's a 1-pill tester that I built. I think this is the second one. It's got a on and off switch, and this turns the power on and off. So you put the transistor down in here and either screw it down or hold it down with a pin. That's what I normally do with this one. And then you can turn the power on and key the mic and see what power you get out of it, which the input and output tuner's gone off of it. Must have used them on something else. Nice little solder sucker. This is the first version of the 1-pill checker. It worked pretty good, just that same way. You have to hold it down and out. And this one ain't got no on and off switch to it. You got to watch what you're doing. This one I put the transistor in, then I hooked the power up, and it took kind of 2 hands. So I said screw that and come up with generation 3. This one you put the transistor in here in that pocket. Put this on top of it, which is isolated. It's nothing but 3 pieces of phenolic board glued together, epoxy. Put the transistor down in there, and it's got the hole for the top of the transistor in it. Put that down on it. Put that down, clamp it. Now your transistor's ready to go. Turn your switch on when it's got a light. It tells you when the power is actually run to the board. But and it's got a diode and everything on it, just like a regular 1 amp, and built exactly the same way. But you can turn the power on and key the mic right then and there. And if something goes wrong, you can always hit the switch, knock it off, and you don't have to unhook it, this, that, and the other. But that's that. Another little test amp. There's a few of them around. Some heat sink up there. Some little overrun of power supplies. LED lights in these little totes. I need to make me a thing to put these in. Some more trays. Soda sucker that I don't know if I completely like. I don't know. Oh, ain't turned on. I don't know. I don't know. Rainmaker's got one like it, the older version. He likes his, but this one, the on and off switch was on the back. I took it off, put it in the front. The cord in the back was just ungawful long. I took it and made it shorter because it's plugged in right back here. I got a couple of these plugs there, and it's got the USB connectors in it. They're pretty cool. And they're fused too. Here's a little, this tells the voltage on a little 30 amp switch is all it is. This here is one of those nice little watt meters. It's up to, it shows you SWR on this side, and that side is the watt meter. It's good to 500 watts. Pretty nice little unit. And the power supply is bolted up underneath there. Dummy loads bolted on there. I'll do a radio here if I want to. Little place for tools, not organized. Put it there. And Mr. Tom hooked me up with some of this. Pretty much all that. Box plumb full of little fittings, connectors. This here just run off. Wire, different little things, whole bag. A guy come by the other day and give me this whole bag of that. A bunch of stuff. Caps. Some Top Gun modulators from back today. I don't know. I guess the guy that made them, sent them to me. It's a bunch of them. I ain't never hooked up one. Never even put in one. It's an amplifier down in that one. Some other amplifiers over here. Tuba 6 that boy wanted to upgrade from a Tuba 6 to an 8 pill, so I just took this whole deck out of it, replaced it with an 8 pill deck, and other than tearing this apart, having little sort of spots all over the place, just redone the whole board. Little 4 pill, not even, just started but not finished. Watt meters. That's a Bulldog there. It comes from Mr. Roscoe on Channel 6. Mr. Roscoe down here in Brown Summit, North Carolina. A little W4. I like to have another one of them. A little W4. This was in Drake's in really nice shape. When I seen it a couple of years ago, I bought it. Really, really, really nice shape. Ought to go through here and ground out the movement where it won't mess it up, but it only stays here in this drawer. Another transistor checker. A really nice, believe it or not, it's better than I could build, better than I've seen anybody build. This thing sounds really good, in my opinion. It's receive amp, but you have to hook up another piece of coax. is the only downside to this. Instead of being built inside the amp, and you don't have to hook up one. This one you do, but it sounds really good. Peak kit. Another little meter that I let people use, but I gotta send it back. Appreciate it, Sean. He was the last one who used it. Some little bird meters. Another one. I think 2 of them don't actually work. That's the ones the lightning took out. My little paint thing that I'm gonna redo. It's 2x4s, so I'm gonna do it and make it go in at a, maybe a 30-degree angle or something. Other hold more cans. Too much stuff and not enough room, so I'll make more room in there. A weed eater that hell had since '92. Steel, very good one. Little generator sitting there that need to clean up. Your amp's fixed, by the way. Mr. Soul Searcher. Fans is in this drawer. This one here has got a pretty unique little set of meters in. They're Comet. You can't find them, but if you can find one, throw your hands on it. A CMX1. This is a remote meter. I mean, it's RMS, it's not peak. That's the only thing about it, is you're not going to see your peak number, but it will show you average number pretty accurate. It's got the line section, and put this on the back of your amplifier, and then yeah, antenna, hook it up directly there. This is to the amplifier, or vice versa. Antenna's over here, and radio, the amp's there, radio. But this is pretty neat. It'll show you voltage. 30 watts, 300 watts, 2,000 watts. I wish it was 3,000 watts. But I got 2 of these from a friend of mine that passed away. His wife, he had willed a few things to me, and this was a 2 that he had that got given to me. Now, don't get rid of stuff that people give to me like that. I don't think it's right. My tubing for my vac system I hadn't got up yet. That big tubing don't seem to get clogged up half as bad, so I'm going to put big tubing to it, and it was pretty cheap. So I got it. A filing cabinet full of projects. A pool table that's only been played on a few times, but it's got some nice Chevrolet orange cloth on. Maybe when Hannah gets out of college, we'll play more. It's a drop pocket. She's I ain't never seen nobody do this, but you gotta lay this down on the table, on the table, and put your cue ball on it, and then shoot off of this so you don't happen to run your cue stick through your thing. That's a good idea she had. I don't know where she got that from, but pretty cool idea. I've never run a cue stick through a table, but you know, some parts a boy brought me the other day, all kinds of capacitors. 68 puff, I think. It's a bunch of different stuff in there. Resistors here, a big old bag of, there's more of them. All kinds of caps. The whole bottom of it's full of resistors. I have no clue what these are. I think I'm going to take a handful of these and shoot them to BVI somebody and see if they know what the hell they are. I don't know. Or throw a handful of each one of these in there and send them to him, see if he can use them. He might can. I have no clue what these are. I don't know. Some of the stuff I have no clue what they are. But I took out some of the things that I liked. But some of this stuff I think it would work pretty good for a for some of those varmints and stuff like he works on. Another box just completely full of stuff. that he might could use. Another box of stuff that he might could use. Some cords that I can use, but they're all like computer cords. They're not very heavy gauge. I'd say 20 gauge or something a little bit more. Something to pull maybe a 2-pil off of. Something like that. Wouldn't pull much off of it. 30 amps power supply maybe. I got these. They're 5x5. I appreciate these. I think it's 18 of those in there. That's enough to put a 4-pil on. I think it's pretty good. He machined the top of them flat. They're old, but hey, I like that thin body of it, and it's big fins. That's more air through. I like them. They're completely usable. Nothing wrong with them. Trash can that we found on the side of the road the other day. And it's a brute. Them things are high. Found it. And then we get over to my little refrigerator. I can give $10 for that at a yard sale. Little toolbox. I bought that off of Facebook Marketplace for I think $25. Had to go to Burlington and pick it up. This here, it's a deep jawing, so I went and picked that up real quick, and plus I had to stand with it. And yeah, some stuff up underneath there. I've been doing some stuff upstairs, and it's all kinds of sawdust and pipe stuff and just stuff up underneath. I need to clean that up, but my vacuum cleans out in the other shop. But these tables here, I like them. Each one of these have got separate power. The power switch on that one's there. And then it's got a drawer. Pretty neat little drawer. Nothing in it. Only bad thing about it, if you hit your leg here, it hurts. Believe me, I've done it. It's got a shelf up underneath. We put stuff. There's some run over stuff here. Amplifier got to get on quick. Rotomoto been had for God knows how long. God knows how long. This stuff here is going to be moved to a shelf over that way. Got another shelf over here with stuff on it. There. Another computer and stuff. A couple brand new faceplates up there. And this is stuff for Hannah's car that I gotta go put together. The motor's here. It's a 2.4 Ecotec. This, I got this from a yard sale for like $4. It's a air purifier, and a friend of mine's a HVAC guy, and he gave me this washable filter, and I keep that in it and you can wash it out. But that's to put over here, to blow over here to keep the smoke out of my face and this, that, and the other. But I need to have it hooked up more, but I don't. Amplifier I gotta fix. Eric the Logger, I need to get your stuff out to you. That show us. I need to get that out. An amplifier that's going to be for sale. It's not mine, but he wants to sell it. It's really nice, I think. Little 4-pil. I'm going to bias it. It's been gone through. I went through pretty much everything in it. I've completely disassembled it and put it back together. It's got Toshibas in it. Now some of them are washed off. It's because of the cleaning stuff. I should have sprayed clear coat over top of them and then washed it. And I'm going to start doing that again. My normal transistors, that's what I do anyways. But this one has got a 100 amp rectifier in it, which will handle well over 100 amp. New cap, transformer with a piece of wood on it that not only takes out sound, it helps stiffen it up a little bit up underneath it because them things are pretty heavy. That's going to be something to ship. So I'd like to sell it local if I could. Another one of those little power supplies I'm going to put over here. Jimmy Jam, yours is ready. Pistons for Hannah's coil. If you got a Brute Force 750, let me know. Has a set of stock pistons for a 08 Brute Force 750 that are rebuilt, and has a decent set of pistons for it. Ain't the skirts ain't scarred up bad or nothing. You are gonna need a couple of wrist pin keepers. They got gone, I don't know. This is some domes for them, but this one's kind of scratched up a little bit on the skirts. But if you want them, you can have them. These are Wiseco or better. Can't remember, it's been a long time ago, but it's for 08 Brute Force 750 domes. And he was having to burn at least 93 octane in it. He didn't too much like that. And plus he blew it up again by throwing it out in the mud again. So they got took out of it. But if anybody wants some Brute Force 750 pistons, this is the factory ones. And these are the dome ones. But with them you're going to have to run higher octane gas. That high dollar Joe Biden gas. Yeah. It went down 2 cents to the gallon. 2 cents. And he said that was revolutionizing. That it went down 2 cents. So in 22 gallons of gas, what it takes to put in the Tahoe or Denali, I saved a whopping 44 cents. Good Lord. I don't know what to do. I'm going to go inside and just splurge like hell. The oil pan for her motor. Some more parts. ZZ Performance parts. Some new head bolts. This is for the timing chain set. That upgrades to that. That little thing. The seal for the timing chain. Some more parts on there. And that's a 600 amp power supply. It's going to be. Ain't enough modules on it yet. And yes, I'm coming to yours. I'm coming to yours, Keith. Keith, Kevin. I get them mixed up. The rings for Hannah's car figured out after calling. I need to quit saying but this made sure that I go saying again. The ring space, the gap's right. So 22 is what I'm getting out of that on the 2 compression rings, and on the oil ring I'm getting 18. So he said minimum of on the oil ring of 15, and a minimum on the again on the compression rings 18. So 18 and 15, and anything above that's fine. I made this little cart here. I like to upgrade a sander. This little sander sucks. I mean, a little Harbor Freight, but I mean it works, but don't take anything to stop it. It wouldn't take a mole off a frog's ass. This here used to be over there. This is here's where I do my swirling of the boards, and this is going to be modified. I made these little Harbor Freight when it came. It had little plastic ones on it that busted, and I took a broom handle and kind of like turned it down and thread and tapped it, and that's my little things there. You gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah. I made me a little bit holder where all my bits is over yonder. If you want to buy me something for Christmas, I need some bits. Hole punch, that's up to 4 inch. That's my crimpers. Them at hole punch there, appreciate that, Charles. Mr. Hood. This little thing here is neat. A shear. I seen one of these, first seen one of these at a buddy of mine's shop. He got a real nice shop, believe me, real nice. But this one here, it will do Uh, plexiglass is what it was. It's the plastic sheet is what it says. Let's see if I can get that in there. If y'all looking for one of these, good luck. They're a little hard to find. You will find them from time to time on eBay, but they're really nice. Boy, it'll just shear the hell out of it. Just shear the shit out of it. It's nice. I like it. But this little table will move around wherever you want it. I'm going to put different legs on it. The wheels, these move around. These are stationary. I'm going to put it where I can move it anywhere. And these tables, like I said, they're individual powered. The switch marks this table, the switch works this table. And I got some little LED lights that's in the bulb, and they're just double stick taped under there. One of these days it's gonna probably fall out, but I got a lot of double stick tape on it. 750 calibrate I gotta rebuild. Them screwdrivers I just had to have, and only used one screwdriver out of it. But it's $20. I mean, you get a lot for 20 bucks. It was at Napa, believe it or not. That's a lot for $20, which they got them on eBay, Amazon, and Tractor Supply's even got them. I think it's $24 up there. But when I seen these, I think it was $18, and it was like $20 all together. I said, shit, I better get that. So I got that. And just, that's pretty much the shop tour. Pretty much the shop tour. I got stuff hanging above the head. I'm short, so there's little tooling hanging above there. Keep my spectacles here. I'm using them a lot here lately. Got them off eBay. They come with different lenses. Make sure you get the one with different lenses. But they've been pretty good. Yep. Alright then. Y'all have a good day. I'm going to get back quiet. Later.